There we go. We're live on EMW.
Yeah, but anyway,
Yep.
I'm gonna have
Locked in.
start.
That's how we start.
It's the slow, awkward start.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what to say. Oh, I don't know. Is anybody watching me?
No, you go. No, you go. Go on, you go.
Well, yeah. Should we go for it? Should I do a big? Should we do the intro?
Yeah. Wait. Let me just go back to the Holden screen. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, cool. It's the Winger Records EMW TV live stream with Mr Phormula, rapper, producer, beatboxer, tutor, all-round Superman, thug. North Wales Mafia. Yeah, we just got to chat to you about. I know we've done a little thing on the website. We covered some stuff in that. I'll cover more of that later. Yeah, chat to you about music. I specifically want to talk to you about some of the groups you've been in and stuff, because we've been doing a lot of this Welsh hip hop history shit recently.
Yeah.
I know maybe you've been talking to Tej about someone with that as well. So yeah, I've just got to go through some of that shit really. But yeah, first of all, how's it going? You alright? What's cracking? What you drinking? Coffee?
Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you. I am good to see you all, by the way. Lovely. Good to see everyone. I'm drinking coffee. Nice. I'm not going to tip it. But yeah,
French roast or Italian roast?
High octane dark roast. So I'll be buzzing like. But yeah, man, I'm all good. Just head down, making music. I got some stuff. I've been working on some bits and bobs today. So got a new album on the way. So I've been working on some ideas. So yeah, man, just keeping busy, doing loads of music, tons of creative time. Yeah, man. Happy days.
Sick. Yeah, that new tune with that Winger lot is crazy, isn't it? That's sick.
Haha, nice. Yeah, man. Wing, isn't it? I heard they're assholes to work with, though.
Yeah. Especially Hagee. Cool. Yeah. With the groups you've been in, and like I've been trying to do a bit of chronological Welsh history, but I'm not really sure what order they come in. I think is Gaynor Drwg the first one?
That's the second. No, that's yeah. It's jointly second and third. Gaynor Drwg. So
what's number one?
So basically, right, the first band is Pep Le Pew.
Pep Le Pew with Aaron Elliott.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So that was 1999, 1998, until early 2000s, and then it was Gaynor Drwg. And then at the same time as Gaynor Drwg, me and the other MC, we started this thing called the Dywygiad. So those two things were running in tandem. So those were happening at the same time. I've always been doing my solo thing ever since then. There's a couple of other bands in that whole time as well, but they didn't really go as far as the others. And then there was just all sorts of madness, man, projects and yeah, mad stuff. But the main bands, those are the main ones. And then the Bad is the band that I push now, obviously.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Pep Le Pew was you and Aaron. Was it?
No. There was five of us in that. So you had myself and the other another member called Dulme. He was the main producer. Then you had Aaron. Then you had me doing second vocals and cuts and things. Then you had the percussionist called Danny, and we had the live drummer as well. We had a couple of different drummers, but I think we had two drummers. Sometimes we had guests as well, but it was always five at least. So.
Right, fair. I just going off that.
Happy days.
The one you did on S4C in it, where he's got the guitar and stuff. That's sick.
Oh yeah, that was.
It doesn't even sound like he's speaking. Like I know Welsh is fluent like that, but not fluid. But it doesn't even sound like he's speaking Welsh really on the chorus. It sounds like Spanish or something. You know that?
Yeah.
He's like, it's crazy.
That's definitely Aaron's influence as well. Like he's a big fan of like Spanish music and stuff. So he had he put like a lilt on his voice as well to give it like a bit of a.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Yeah,
sounds cool.
Yeah, he's a talented guy, man.
Is he still? You in contact with him now? Is he?
Yeah. He moved to a cave in Spain. He was living in a cave for a long time. He's got all sorts of mad stories from living in this mad cave, waking up with lizards. It was mad. But now he lives back in Porthmadog now, so he's about 10 minutes away. But he's not doing that much music now these days. But he does flamenco. So he's sick.
Was that in Andalusia by any chance?
No, it was in what was it called? What's the place called? I can't remember what the place was called. I'll remember it after. It'll come to me, I'm sure. Yeah, he's got some mad stories.
I'm sure I watched something about some like community of like Spanish gypsies that lived in caves in Andalusia or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't that far from.
Yeah.
He's a mad head. He gets everywhere. So.
So
why didn't you like? Go on.
Sorry, just keep on topic. The Wigiad is that's you and I forget his name now. The one there's a video on S4C of you and him and Loose Tunes on saxophone and Slice.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
there's like 3 parts on. What's that song called? Is it just one song?
I can't remember the name of the song, but it's
it's sick. Anyway, it's a sick video. You got Luz with his top off playing saxophone and shit. And
yeah, we got Slice on the cuts. If I remember right.
Yeah. So that's. Cool. Is it just you and that guy that's the
Wigiad? Yeah. So it was basically me and Nay as the Wigiad, and then we always had guests and stuff, and then Lou and Slice then performed live with us quite a bit. And we're doing all sorts, man. We went to Radio 1 a few times. We did some Made the Vale sessions. We went to LA.
I watched that video the other day of you lot. Is it Made the Vale you go to? Or is that a different place?
That was the first thing we ever did, the Made the Vale. That wasn't the Wigiad. That was just a Welsh language hip hop thing. And then the Wigiad went there a couple of years later. It was cool, man. We got to travel all sorts of places and that with that. We did some work with Daedalus and stuff as well, which was quite cool. As the Wigiad, so we got to record in the Beastie Boys studio in LA, which was quite cool. So that's quite sick. We didn't meet him or anything, but it was sick though.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Good old days. Cool.
So and just finished out. Gaynor Drew is how many people in that?
There was 5 of us in there. Yeah, 5.
And that translates to Bad Girls, right?
Yeah, Bad Girls. Yeah. The first gig we ever did, right? Obviously, like with it being called Gaynor Drew, is Bad Girls. So the first gig we did was in Porthmadog Rugby Club, and a load of men turned up expecting to see strippers, and then obviously they saw us on stage, like 5 knobheads on stage, and then they quickly left the premises, and we basically did we had a session and played to an empty room.
Yeah.
So that was quite funny, but that was cool, man.
You've got to do a couple empty rooms.
Say it again.
You got to do a couple empty rooms for your character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure you got the minerals if you've never played to an empty room and just stuck it out. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's happened a few times in my career, like, but that was the funniest one, no doubt.
Class.
Yeah.
Class. Cool.
The few times it's happened to us, it's just like it always results in you getting so pissed and then just freestyling at each other about how there's no one in.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. That's it. That's all you need to do, though. Perfect. That's it.
What is it? We played the fuck is that festival in that big manor house?
In Waiheon Wai, was it?
Yeah, whatever the fuck. It's on the border. It's a big manor house.
Is it Green Man Festival?
No, it was it was like a one-day thing.
Oh yeah.
We got booked for this festival off of playing in like Brecon, and we were like, oh, sick. Got booked for like this festival. Then went in. There's like fucking massive main stage room. And it was like in, and we were supposed to be playing later. We're like, this is gonna be fucking amazing. And they're like, right, we'll take you to where you're playing. There's basically like a pub in the hotel. And it's like
yeah, boy.
Pub. And then like by the end, we were just like, we thought we had it made here. One person stayed here. It's just like one. And I went to talk to the guy after, and it turns out it was fucking Haigie's stepbrother.
That's amazing. Well, do you remember Griff, do you remember us doing that? Supposed to be doing Boom Bap Festival, got like just tucked away into a tiny little corner, and it was just basically us, and then you. That was it.
Talking about thinking you got it made and then it being different.
Yeah, totally.
No one there.
No one there. No one. The guy didn't even know that. He didn't even know we were playing. So he was like, I don't know you. I didn't know you were playing. I was like, yeah, we need mics tonight. He was like, I haven't got mics. This isn't for bands. This is a DJ booth. I was like, you're joking me. Come on, man. Come on, yeah. We've driven like fucking 9 million miles to get here. Come on, yeah. There we go. It's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
Funny.
So you talk about some musicians. We like a solo artist for a time before that. Why don't we take it right back? Like, so you're in North Wales. You're how fucking old when you fuck. What's that? The lands set in into hip hop and wasn't like around you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Griff.
Yeah, you're glitching out proper, son.
Go on, Kyler. Go on, Kyler.
I was just saying, like, take us right back to like the first time you had an attachment to hip hop or music in general, and how you really got like the start. Because obviously you're from North Wales, like us, we're from West Wales. I'm assuming there wasn't exactly hip hop spewing out of the fucking venues or anything.
No.
Yeah, just back there.
Well, it basically started in school. Obviously, that's where like the seed was planted. Yeah, and like it's a long story, but I'll just cut it real short. So basically, I got to secondary school. I was obsessed with music. My mum was a singer. She used to play in bands and do like all sorts of gigs, and she plays instruments and that. And my dad used to do PAs, so I had music all around me all the time. And then by the time I got to secondary school, I linked up with some guys that were a lot older than me, because I was best mates with one of their brothers in my form. And I started making music with them, and I learned how to DJ and learned how to scratch and stuff, and then learned music production and all that stuff. So I had a tight circle of mates, really, that we used to just all hang out, make music. And my cousin...
Was that music in general, or was it...
Yeah, music in general, but mainly, like, music in general, yes, but like, there was always heavy influences on things like break beats and stuff, and sort of drum and bass and hip-hop. My cousin introduced me to the Wu-Tang, so I got obsessed with them from a really early age. And then, so all throughout school, I knew I wanted to do music. Obviously, there was nothing in North Wales for me to actually do as a course, but I found this media course. It wasn't very good, but on the same course, Aaron Elias was on it from Pepper Pew, and he'd only just started the band. And about 2 months into the course, we weren't doing anything apart from smoking weed or whatever. And he goes to me one day, he's like, "Hey, let's just drop out college. Come and meet my mate in the band and just join the band with me. Let's just do the band." So we both went into college at the same time and just quit the course, got on the bus, went to Portsmouth, and then the rest is history. That's where it sort of began. So yeah, it's a lot more detailed than that, but just like a brief overview of it. That's basically how it happened. So
everything good starts with fucking someone else off.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's 100%. Yeah, 100%. I try not to tell kids that in schools when I teach them now, but no, 100%, man. I think like your path in life is, for the most part, I think is mapped out, and as long as you've got keep your passion in check, I think you get onto the right path and you just ride the wave. Like that's how I've always seen it. So it's like passionate about something, just keep following it, I reckon, and the rest is history. Well,
you're still riding it.
Yeah, man. All good.
You're still on the 50-footer with your hair blowing in the wind.
All good.
Just want to big up everyone viewing on the stream. So we got Kerry, Shorty P. Priest,
Shorty P.
Reese Davis, Jaffa. They've all mentioned.
Shout out DJ Jaffa.
Yeah, big up.
Shouts to Jaffa.
I recently coined him the Cool Herc of Wales on Facebook, and I think it's a good title.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else that has as much knowledge as DJ Jaffa when it comes to break beats and sample knowledge. Jaff, you're off your end. Amazing.
He did a wicked mix on BBC Radio Wales Saturday. You should go listen back to that. Anyone?
I haven't tuned in yet.
That was dope. Yeah, no, it was really good. I listened to Beth and Elvin show, Jeffers mix, and Adam Walton. Like,
Sick.
it was loads of good stuff. Class.
That was a good day, wasn't it? Jesus Christ.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have a little
Please.
question to ask, actually, just off the back of that. So, being in North Wales and knowing what Wales is like, you know, you can like live in the next village and not know anyone, you know, in the next village. So, like, in terms of like communicating in the early days of hip hop, did you feel like there was a way, like a communication between different parts of Wales? Like you say, Jaffa's got loads of knowledge. How would you have found that knowledge back in the day? Like,
Well, when I was in college now, obviously, it was literally just meeting up with people and actually communicating in person, which I think is always the best way, I think, isn't it? So just communicating with people and then finding out that we have the same interests and have the same buzzes and the same passions. And in turn, that sort of unraveled itself over the years. And after joining Pep Le Pew, like we actually started to travel all around Wales to do gigs and performances. And that's how I met people like DJ Jaffa, and I got introduced to the Cardiff scene, met all those guys, and then like traveled to Swansea, like Carmarthen and stuff as well. So it was a lot more just about getting out there and actually doing it. And just like in the physical, actually meeting people and chatting. And yeah, man, I think it makes way for more interesting stories, I think, when you do something physically like that.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, it was basically just down to that, really. There's no, excuse the pun, but no hidden formula.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah, man, it was just following my nose, and we were just doing what we loved doing. That was it. That was basically it. Just doing gigs for free, but getting places and meeting people. That was it, man. It was
what time period is? When do you think you did your first gigs in like Cardiff and Swansea? What kind of area?
Mad story, right? First story. The first gig I did in Cardiff, I was 18, and I was in Pep Le Pew, and the first gig we did was in Club Ivo Bach, right? And we were, at the time, it was like, yeah, the guy called Guitar Brachan running it and stuff, and it was like, if you played in club, it was like, that's the big one in Wales, you're playing Club Ivo, like. And we were playing Wales versus England that day, and Wales won. And we thought, oh, we're going to have a banging gig. And we hadn't done a gig in Cardiff before, so no one knew what we were like. No one knew what to expect. And a lot of the Welsh language scene is quite folky or quite rocky or metally, whereas we were a bit more like a Wu-Tang or whatever. So we started playing in the afternoon about 2 o'clock in Club Iwo. Loads of rugby supporters in red shirts watching us. And then after about 2 songs, they all sat down on the floor, cross-legged, and turned their backs towards us. So it was literally just backs of people who were basically just going, get the fuck out of here, son.
Well, they sat down in the club.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. So that was my first gig in Cardiff.
What year was that?
That was like 2000. No, it's 1999. It's 1999, yeah. Okay. And I remember, though, it was that gig, though, that we stayed, had a massive session, and that's the first time I actually linked up with, like, Tystion, Rhywbeth, all those guys. So like the whole crew was in the middle floor. Jaffa will know this. The middle floor in Club Ivo, it's just like a little smoke box. All the bands went in there and just got smashed. It's amazing. Best experience of my life. Like, so yeah, that's how that happened. Yeah. It's amazing.
That's fucking rude, doing it. But I can never imagine it. Rugby supporters, Welsh language.
It's crazy.
The likeliness of them not giving a fuck about hip hop, especially in like 90s.
Yeah, madness.
Is this
but the next,
in the top floor of Ivo Bach?
So the next gig we did in Club Ivo was like properly rammed, and everyone was smashing it, getting on it, like, so that was cool. Just the first ever gig in Cardiff was a bit weird, like, but whatever.
I bet they're loving you now, though. All of those people that turn about, I bet they're like, they want autographs and.
I
don't know about that.
I feel like if you mirror that situation today, the response would be a lot better. I feel like
that's a good question. I think it would be.
Rap music is dissipating.
Yeah, I think what it was at that time, the only groups you had in the Welsh language that did anything similar were Tystion. So Tystion were like the grandfathers of like Welsh language hip hop. And then obviously we came along a little bit later, but there was no other bands that were doing anything sort of in that vein. So I guess for like the average Welsh language music listener, they were like, what the fuck's it? I can't compute this shit. This is like, do you know what I mean? So I guess it didn't connect, like, but whatever, man, it was all good. We had an amazing time. Got to meet Tystion and stuff and got linked up. I think Jaffa may have been there. Jaffa may have been there, actually. So
Jaffa was the DJ, right, for Tystion?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I don't have any knowledge on Tystion, so
Oh
can you
man,
expand
yeah.
on?
Yeah, Tystion, right? So you had Stefan Krabos. He's got like a really deep voice like this. It's amazing. You had MC Mabon. Then you had Chef Kwan, R.I.P. Chef.
That's
it.
He's Aled's friend.
That's it. Yeah. Then you had Jaffer on the ones and twos. Sometimes Paul B. And then you had Rob on the flute. Rob McKay plays a flute, like so. Yeah, I think there was probably more members than that as well, but those were the core members. It's amazing. Like they were amazing live. Seeing those guys live, madness. Yeah, good old days, man. Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's mad learning all off the back of that thread, and I put up that Welsh hip hop history thing, and it's mad. Just like you say, in your first gig in Cardiff was like 98, 99 or whatever. I would have been 2 in 99, like so.
Crazy. But it was
even with
with
Jaffa like releasing a single in what was it, 1989? That just the Do single, like shit like that, and it just mad.
That's what I was gonna say, man. The Cardiff scene. It's always, especially being in Cardiff. Cardiff's always been like the melting pot for it. I guess because it's closer to the other cities or whatever, but Cardiff's always had this incredible, vibrant scene. Like ever since I can remember, I was obsessed with the Cardiff hip hop scene. And when I got to meet them, I was like, "Whoa!" No way! I got to meet like Mudmouth, or I got to meet like Scammer, or I got to meet like Paul B or Jack. I was like, "Oh, I'm actually meeting these guys. This is amazing." And felt like a part of it, and feeling a part of it from being up North Wales was amazing. Knowing I was a part of that community, it's amazing, man. Yeah, happy day.
I had a similar thing when I went to uni in Cardiff, like, because just being from the sticks out here, you know, like, you have a bunch of people that actually fucking made like an actual like scene. It was like bizarre, but definitely like a big boost, you know.
Who did you have? Who were the main
Cardiff as well, though, innit? Sorry, what'd you say?
Who were the main artists that you were checking out back then in Cardiff?
The first artist I met, and I didn't know who he was when I met him, was Fernie Mac. And
nice.
Shout out to him, because like he was an absolute like legend. You know what I mean? It was like I played ice hockey with this boy, and he was like, "Come to my birthday party," and he was like, "Oh, here's my mate Fernie." And then I just made like my first ever fucking track, and I'd had it on like a memory stick. And then he was just like, "Yeah," like I found out he was into hip hop or whatever. He was like, "Put it on, put it on." I was like, "Nah, fuck." It was like a full house party. He's like, "Put it on, put it on," and I was like, "Nah." And I put it on. And he was like. And him and all his mates were just like so nice about it. They were like, "Oh, it's class, man. Like you remind me of like Slick Rick or something." I was like, "Shut the fuck up. You're just a fucking nice person."
That's
and then he forced
like,
freestyle and that, you know. Like I was like, "I can't freestyle." He's like, "Yeah, you can, bro. Just do it." And I'd be like,
"That's it, man." Like, when you grow up listening to hip hop,
shout out to him, you know, because
when you grow up listening to hip hop, like obviously when you listen to American stuff, and that, especially like Wu-Tang, it's like all bully rap or whatever. So you associate with hip hop with like that attitude. But in all honesty, really, most people are proper nice. Like they're all chill. It's cool, man.
It's people acting like that really get everything growing, you know, because like people shit could just die there and then, you know, like if he was a knobhead, he might have put it on. I mean, might have never made music again. But people being that nice and inclusive really lets everything grow, you know.
There's no doubt. There's 100% no doubt about that. Yeah.
One of the first people we met. I must have been like 12, 13, 14. I remember being in his house in Cardiff on Rumney Street, and Smithy Blade, Mighty Mouse was there. Smithy Blade and Fester, and they were literally like, we were freestyling in the living room, like, which is mad now because we've recently become good friends now and working on music together with him, which is sick. But that is literally like we met like going on 10 years ago, just freestyling in Kai's house.
I didn't know him either. I was just like, come back to my house after some party or some shit. And I was like, "Whoa, this guy's fucking crazy, bro. Smithy Blade, freestyle."
I remember meeting him way back. I was doing stuff with a band called Rhywbeth Lleithog, and they were good mates with Mighty Mouse's mum and stuff, I think. And then we ended up going to a house party with Rhywbeth Lleithog, and then Smithy Blade and his mates were there. It's crazy. I think it's like the first time I met him. It's going years back.
Yeah,
like
he's friends with Kev Ford,
That's it, yeah. Yeah, Kev's Ford. Yeah. So Kev and John do Rhywbeth Lleithog. They're like the first ever electronic music group in Wales, man. They're like the catalysts. So a lot of time for those guys, man. Big respect for them, man.
They did a whole project with that Bliggy as well, which is interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of history, man. There's a lot of history.
That was another name that come up off that post. I had no idea who Rhywbeth Lleithog were until I started looking it up then, and I talked to him a little bit on Facebook. John. Yeah. John's a class guy, man. I've got loads of history with those guys, like loads of stories with those Rufus
guys.
Mufasa just dropped the tune, didn't she? That was with Kev.
That's it. Yeah. I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
Good.
That's cool.
Sick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
I forgot to mention earlier, like sorry to change the subject, but I forgot to mention, like when I was doing this whole up and down country thing with Cardiff and that, like slowly North Wales started to sort of produce rap artists as well, and there's a ton of rap artists just came out of nowhere from North Wales, which has been pretty sick. Like, so you had loads of Welsh language people and that, and then loads of them have come and gone. But where it's at now, there's loads more just like sort of come out of nowhere again.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's like the brand new scene. It's like you guys' generation, like sort of seem to be pushing it further, which is wicked. So shout out to loads of artists up here, like old school ones and new ones. It's amazing.
Do you have any names?
Yeah, no, it's good. I think it's great. We got Larynx as well, like
totally. Larynx, man, it spreads, man. You got guys up here like that are doing some mad stuff, and it's amazing.
Do you have any recommendations, man? Like any?
Yeah, man. I'll just give a load of shout outs to people that are like sick from up here. So older school ones, like you got like you got like Teo Shady, you got Covey Bach, you got MC Size Mundo, you got Double L, Double L. You got Hoax MC. I think he's in the studio at the minute doing some new stuff actually, which is cool. Hoax is proper sick. Like, you got Four Plays. He's based in Llandudno that way. You got Big Si. He's based near Rhyl. Then there's loads, man. Then you got like the whole Larynx crew, so they've got a whole bunch of people on their label as well. There's tons, man. It's cool. It's amazing to see so many people just coming out of nowhere. Like, it's good.
Shout out Hollow Boy Drowsy as well. I think he's from Anglesey. He did a remix of Boofy's The Get Down recently.
Oh, nice.
I
haven't heard him. Who is he?
He's a producer from Anglesey. He's called Hollow Boy Drowsy.
Cool.
He reminds me of his production reminds me of Judgment. And I said that to him. He's like, oh yeah, massive influence. So dope. So I'm sure we'll do something in the future. But shout out.
Cool, man. I haven't heard it. That's where I'm from originally. I'm from Anglesey originally, like.
Anglesey crew.
Yeah.
Get to know, bro. I got my finger on the pulse of Anglesey hip hop.
Yeah, man. That's where it's all going on. See, so.
So just let's
hey,
do a little.
I got a little goodie going on in here. Do you want to hear it? Little exclusive for EMW.
Yeah.
So just started it off. Just started it this morning. Let's get back into here. Let's have a listen.
Oh.
Yeah, man. There's an exclusive.
That's a celebration beat, innit?
It is.
Yeah, that's I just won.
We made it, baby. Look how far we came, mama.
I could actually do this a celebratory Welsh language hip hop, like celebratory history thing. Actually, that could be a good shout, man. That could be a good shout.
Yeah.
That could be a good shout. That.
I'm gonna just do a little break. You're listening to EMW TV with Ringer Records interviewing Mr Phormula. Mr Phormula is a Welsh hip hop artist, spoken language in Welsh and in English, bilingual. But you know people who do it in many languages. I know. One of those projects actually was you kind of tried to get as many languages on one record. Is that right? Like that was.
What that was is hip hop is hip hop. And I'll tell you the story for that if you want, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Please.
You good? Are you done, Harry? Do you want to say anything else, or can I?
No, I just wanted people to know what they're listening to a little bit, because you know we chat and maybe someone's just joined and yeah.
Cool.
It's a live interview with Tom Cruise.
Let's
go.
So,
Yeah, no,
so
tell
basically
us.
what happened, right? Mayor from Associated Minds got in touch with me. This is going back quite a while. And he's like, all right, Ed, hope you're well. There's a guy from Korea's got in touch with me asking if I know any Welsh language rap artists that can feature on the song with loads of different languages, right? So I was like, yeah, man, send it my way. So he gets in touch, and this guy's like, yeah, basically we need 8 bars in Welsh language. There's going to be 15 rappers doing their own languages. So like, we want you to do the Welsh one. I was like, yeah, okay, wicked. So I did it. And then through like copyright and all sorts of stuff, I ended up having the short story. I ended up having to do the verse about 4 different times for 4 different beats and things. So it took a long time. It was about 2 years, the whole thing. It took ages. And in the end, anyway, just before launching the whole thing, like the guy gets in touch and he's like, right, thank you everyone for jumping on the song. We're going to release it in like a week or so. And we've got a little surprise for you that we've got KRS-One involved on it. And it was just like, whoa, my God, you serious? Like, we're KRS-One's on this track. Like, so no one knew who was going to be on it until like the last minute. And then getting to see that the day it launched, I was just like, sick, like getting to be on a track of KRS-One's mad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's nice.
So yeah, but that's how that happened, man. So it's big up to Mayor from Associated Minds. Massive shout out. So that's how that came about.
Dope.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, man, that's cool. It's interesting again. That's a whole branch. Obviously, with Black Tricks, we just released Black Tricks single, and we got his EP dropping end of this month from Winger. So that's a whole. The Associated Minds is another whole little branch that's interesting, especially when you start going and listening back to it. Because I've been listening to all of Black Tricks' stuff, and then like I've been listening to Ralph Rip shit and Beats and PLO, Scammer, Mudmouth, just.
Mudmouth
I
is
reckon-
insane. Like Mudmouth is absolutely insane.
Mudmouth is
Oh man,
Mudmouth's
insane.
his missus actually did the artwork for the Black Tricks EP, the cover. So
Oh,
shout out to her.
sick.
Shout out to Mudmouth's missus.
Yeah, man. It's I think
Yeah,
the
man.
Associated Minds, for some, like I'm not sure why they like ended up like not carrying on or whatever, but I'm sure if they'd carried on, they'd have no doubt been High Focus way before High Focus got there. I reckon that's my theory. Like I think they were so unique and they were so talented, every one of them. They were just absolutely insane. And as a collective, like they'd only release amazing music. Like I'd never heard anything rubbish from Associated Minds. Everything was like fire every time, all the time. Absolutely insane, man. Yeah. Big love to Associated Minds.
Meta Beats is one who's carried on
Just insane, man.
consistently,
Like,
hasn't he?
that's it.
He's still
And,
like dropping. What's his
That's
thing
it.
now?
Dark House Family, yeah. Well,
Dark.
Dark Horse Family, yeah.
Like he's still
Yes.
consistent with it
That's it.
all the time.
That's it. I remember when I heard the Caviar Crackle, and I was just like, mate, this isn't even like a normal album. This is like a gold album. Do you know what I mean?
It's nuts, isn't it?
seriously,
that is absolutely
yeah,
like,
underrated
it's
stuff. Like,
Album. Yeah, no doubt. Like Action Bronson and stuff's on there. That's like what?
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
no,
that
it's
the one?
very
Is
good.
Odyssey on that as well? I think.
Odyssey's on there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had
The
like
other ones I
tunes
can't
like
remember.
Mad Tight and stuff. You heard that?
Yeah.
Mad Tight.
Yeah.
Banger.
That sample. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Go home. Wow.
It's playing in my
Yeah.
head now. Now you
yeah,
said
that's
it.
an anthem.
Style is like, yeah.
Yeah, if anyone wants
so-
to have a primer on like the quality of hip hop, like that's one of those peak tracks I think for
Yeah.
music coming out of like Cardiff.
No doubt.
Mad Tight, a Scammer. Who else is on that?
Stoney
Jim.
Jim, Scammer, and Mudmouth.
Yeah, that's it.
Mudmouth.
Yeah, absolutely mental.
Yeah. Absolute like insanity. And then you had like Squid Ninjas in the mix as well. You had like Revenge of the
Yeah.
Blowfish and stuff. And it was just like, what? This is crazy.
Yeah, man. I
And
love that
now
album. It's fast.
Right now you've got Sam Jones doing artwork for Griselda. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Madness.
And like Busta Rhymes, Ghostface,
Yeah. man.
Alchemist as well.
He was doing he did a post the other day on one of his things on Instagram, right? And DJ Muggs only goes and puts a comment on his artwork with a flame icon. And I was just like, mate, Muggs has just said, he's just like giving you a flame icon. What? Fair play.
Yeah.
He's on it, man.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Mad.
Yeah.
And then Scammer's absolutely killing off drum and bass as well.
There's another guy, man. Like, Scam's on his way. I'm surprised he's not bigger already. He will be, though. No doubt. There's no doubt, man. It's too good.
That might still be the best album to come out of Wales, that Squid Ninjas album, to be fair.
Yeah. That first tune.
It's hard to argue with.
The 8 bars one, that first one. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It's got that little thing. Wow. That Friday night shit.
Yeah.
That producer,
I've been listening.
Lou Heckler.
Yeah, Lou Heckler's
Like,
sick.
he's got
man.
some weird like potions. I swear.
Heckler's sick. Heckler's
No doubt.
he's such a good rapper as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
That's
I've
one of
been
my
listening
favourite
to,
producers, man.
Have you heard HSG? You know all that stuff?
I don't think I have none. Go.
I'm not really sure. I think it's pre-Squid, so it's like a larger Squid group.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've been researching some of that, and it's old Lou Heckler verses and
Oh, nice.
yeah,
So
Joe
on
Blow
Spotify.
and Kester. I'm not sure where. I'll have to dig it out. I'm not sure where I got it from, but
Cool.
but yeah, like Heckler, man. Since Heckler's always been. This is obviously quite early on, but still, he was killer. Like it was just.
Heckler, man.
There's something about his voice as well. He's got a good voice that kind of
Yeah,
cuts through. Like
His production's amazing as well. He does the Vanilla Pluto, is it? Or Pluto? Vanilla
Yeah.
Pluto, I think, yeah.
yeah, man.
Just been,
And
there's something about Barry, man. There's some creative bubble in Barry. I don't know what it is, but they all smash it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Got
yeah.
some,
Joe Dirt as well, man. I've been listening to his album again the other day. Class.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, they're just all sick, man. It's like all the South Wales scene, man. And you guys, like everyone down there, it's just amazing.
got
Love it.
Joe Blow as well, obviously. His,
Joe Blow, man. No doubt.
He's got
No doubt. His that last EP he did with Stag is amazing. It's like a 4-track EP.
heavy.
Sick.
I still need to check that out, to be fair.
We've got
Yeah, shouts to Stagger.
some shout outs here.
Yeah.
John Jomez saying big up Mr Phormula.
Hey, Joe Mears, Newport, massive.
Darwin
Class.
Jr. Turton. Zubat does Welsh language too, though. Not as much.
Hey, Jan Zubat.
Yeah. Zubat. I'm not sure if Zubat's on the stream, but yeah, man. If Zubat does Welsh
I
language.
like
Mate, Zubat is like you get a message off Zubat like every 3 months. You'll probably get 4 messages a year. Like he's not doing live streams, trust me.
I got a
It's
I
hard.
asked him. I
I've
asked him. I was like, "Do you want to do a live stream?" He's like, "Nah, I've been avoiding that more than the actual plague that's going around." I was like, I kind of knew you were going to say that. I just felt rude not asking you as actually
Zubat.
before we go through everyone else. I was like,
I have a general question, not just for you guys on the stream, but anyone. How do you catch a Zubat? Like literally, answers are
You
not
got to use a
on
net. You got to use a massive net.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
got to
you
like
just-
catch him.
or a dictionary and a thesaurus. Like
Yeah.
No, you
right
just
with mugwort.
you just
Yeah.
leave dogs. You just leave dogs out, so he has to go and rescue him, and then you catch him when he
Yeah,
catches
true.
the dog.
That's it. You got to catch him.
Zubat's a professional dog walker, by the way.
He is, man. Yeah. Sick.
Big up Zubat.
And he's sick at rapping in Welsh as well, Zubat. He's mad skills.
Yeah, he won't admit to it. He'll be like,
Yeah,
but
he's
he is-
amazing though, man. He's amazing.
He's good.
Mm.
No, he's crazy. I want more people to know how good Zubat is. He's the next.
No doubt.
I want
He's
to
like
focus
Aesop Rock.
Yeah, I want to focus. I want to
That's what I said.
do a Zubat album and
Mm.
do some Zubat singles and just focus the attention on Zubat for a bit, because I think there's
Yeah.
so many people that are like are slightly aware maybe, but not really like. Even when, like, I put up his bars video from 3 years ago the other day on Facebook, and it got like 100 likes. It got like 30 shares,
Mm.
and he said he got like 20 likes or something off his page for it. And it's just like people are just like, this is crazy. I mean, people from America and shit on my Facebook like, this kid is nice. And it's just
man.
Zubat going in, like, but yeah,
He's got wicked
he's-
rhythm. Yeah, he's
he's on
and
some
he's a
next
good
shit.
guy, man. He's a good guy. Like I had some cool experiences with Z. It's been good.
Yeah, you went. We talked about it a bit on the website, but do you want to talk about the Dylan Live thing where you and Zubat and Martin Dawes and all that in New York?
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, so what
Fantastic.
happened there was like Literature Wales got in touch and they were like, right, we want to do a Dolan Thomas live show slash experiment. But we don't know what we want to do, so we just want to get you all in a room and have a chat about it. So basically, I ended up going to Cardiff to meet Literature Wales, and then another guy, Professor Daniel Gwydion, he was like one of the other guys involved in it. It was only me and him that turned up, and I left the meeting and I was like, I don't even know what this is about. Like, I can't. Do you know what I mean? It was so vague. So anyway, we ended up rounding up Martin Dawes and Aaron Caradog and Zubat. So it's like 5 of us, and then we ended up getting booked and put into a place up here called Tyrgwyn. And basically we just stayed there for like a couple of days and we wrote a show. And that was basically what happened. And then in a nutshell, we ended up going to New York and stuff with it, and we got to tour all around Wales and do all sorts of madness. And yeah, man, it was just like a live show exploring Dylan Thomas through poetry, a live lecture, hip hop, sampling, live looping, beatbox. Sick. It was amazing. Yeah, it was a lot of good fun, man.
Class.
So that's basically what happened there. So yeah, it was good.
Zubat said when he was in New York, he said he had a day off or something, and he just walked round the corner, and he said Immortal Technique was just playing a gig outside.
Crazy. Yeah, it was mad. I wasn't with him. Like, we because we had 2 separate places. So it was like one place was the 3 of us, and then the other place was the other 2 guys. So like we were sort of quite scattered. So yeah, it was a bit of a mad one. Like, there was a lot of session going on. Like, as you can imagine, me and the Nathan Caradog nearly missed our plane. So we got into a bit of trouble. Like, but yeah, it was cool.
Let's expand on that real quick.
There's lots of stories, like just having sessions or whatever. I don't want to go into too much detail now, like, but
yeah.
I want to be able to go back to America.
With the show, did you have? So, are you reciting Dylan poems, or are you Are you rewriting them, or are you doing bits of your own material at the same time?
Yeah, it was a mix of all of that. So basically, Dan, like the professor, himself and Martin Dawes wrote together a lecture going through the whole life of Dylan Thomas. And then what we did then throughout that lecture is we worked out where we could put live performances and where we could put sort of different parts of poetry. So it was ultimately it was a lecture, but it was separated up by performances and live aspects of like hip hop and beatboxing and things. So we had loads of live stuff going on in it, but then we had this lecture going on as well, which is awesome, man. It was just like a mixed bag of amazingness. So we got to write, like, I wrote my own stuff about called the Funhonet, which means the source. So it was talking about the source of where poetry and where words come from. So it was like a rap song that was separate, but then I performed it in the show. And then, yeah, there was all sorts of mad stuff in it. It was amazing. It's good. Yeah, so it's basically...
It's wicked, man. It's, Dylan is such a...
Sorry, man. We released the book. We released the book with an audio CD on it. I'll dig one out for you.
Is it?
Dig one out for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot about that, yeah.
I'd love to hear that. Yeah, no, it's sick because Hagee. So for anyone who doesn't know, Culture Vulture's producer Hagee, he's from like Larne pretty much,
Cool.
and he had 2 different places in Larne, and one of them is literally just up the road from like Dylan's grave.
Oh, amazing! Wow.
So we literally go and like sit by his like thing and everything, and then. Yeah, there's a lot of history there, just in Larne about that. And then he's so widely like, I listen to like there's a Canadian hip hop group called Flight Distance. Do you ever hear of them? Bender, he was a big battle rapper in Canada. He died actually, unfortunately. But they referenced Dylan Thomas quite a few times, and it's like,
wow.
So I'm listening to Canadian hip hop, and they're like referencing Dylan Thomas poems and stuff, and. So yeah, it's cool to see it brought back in like a live sense and a modern artists and stuff like that. It's good.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Yeah, no, big fan, man. We had a little session in the White Horse where supposedly where Dylan Thomas like had a massive session, and that's what like sent him over the edge apparently. So it's like you go there and it's just like all Dylan Thomas memorabilia everywhere, and obviously we went in and had a massive bender.
It's a bit weird to make it like a memorial for the place that he kind of died in. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's mad,
I get his favourite local, but it being like, this is where Dylan Thomas, like,
yeah,
it went like that.
it's a bit of a mad one, but
Yeah,
This is where Dylan Thomas went like that.
the spilt whiskey bottle in his in the makeshift shed. You know, they
Yeah.
left it like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to go down to the shed and like Hagee would be like, how class would it if we just, broke in one night just slyly, and we just put a picture of like culture vultures in the little video in the little picture frames. Yeah, if you like printed it out and you rubbed some tea on it and made it look old, then you just
amazing. That's awesome.
stuff like that. It'd be funny. Yeah, no, it's cool. The live stuff's cool. I went to see you guys. What time was that? It was last winter, was it? I went to see Barv in Furnace Theatre.
Yeah, in Fun
Like-
Nights.
Yeah, that was really cool because again, that's like. So Barv is your newest group, which is you, Martin Dawes, and Henry
That's it. Henry Horrell. Yeah.
Henry Horrell.
Yeah.
You're beatboxing, live looping.
Yeah.
And doing vocals. Martin is doing vocals and playing the kalimba.
Yeah.
And then Henry is playing 2 sets of keyboards and the guitar all at the same time.
He's doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
guy.
yeah, that was
He's
sick.
like.
I enjoyed that.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it, man. Thank you. There's we got loads of plans underway for Bad, so that's the next thing we're going to be pushing. There's we've got big plans for that. So hopefully once live shows and that get back to normal, we'll be able to make a bit more of an impact. So
It was funny, wasn't it, that show? Because we were all sat down, innit? It was like a sit-down thing.
yeah,
It was a really bad weather night, and there was
Horrible.
maybe like 20 people there.
Yeah.
And we're in the little theatre studio bit, and you play it like the last song. You got everyone up, didn't you? Like everyone was
man.
dancing, and then you were like, "Why didn't we just do this to begin with?" Like, why is everyone be sat down?
Just got everyone up straight away. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
like, for me, I was like, "Oh, sitting down is a bit strange," but no, it was cool.
Cool. I like those little gigs. Like there's something about those little ones because the final gig we did before we've ended up with this whole lockdown business is we played literally up the road from where I live in a place called Croestor, which is tiny. It's at the foot of a mountain. There's a little art centre cafe there, and they were interested in just booking bars. So it was like, oh yeah, man, let's do it. Might as well. And it was an absolute steaming gig, man. It was amazing. It's only a small room, fits about 50 people, and the whole room was just like dancing and bouncing. The whole thing it was amazing. Yeah, man, such a nice gig. Like So
Yeah,
it was a good last gig to have.
Yeah, funny story from that night, like that. Going back to the Snackley thing, we went and had a curry in the curry house next to Spoons.
Yeah.
And I left my umbrella in the umbrella thing by the door, and then when we left, we went to Spoons, and I forgot my umbrella. So I went back, and I thought they'd closed. So I was like knocking on the door and trying to point at my umbrella. The guy's looking at me like I'm a tit or something, and somebody walks in there, so I realise that they haven't closed. I'm just drunk and I'm just tripping or whatever. And then I get my umbrella out the stand and look at the guy. He's like that. So I walk away, go back to Spoons, and then one of the guys from the curry house chases me out and is like, "I've got you on CCTV. Like, put the umbrella back. Like, put it back now. I've got you on camera stealing the umbrella." And I was like, mate, I was just sat there. I was like, there was 7 of us. We were just sat there. We just had we've been in here for like 2 hours. You've been serving me. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's Snackley in it. It's just Snackley next to Spoons." Like, and I was like, "Bro, it's fine. I totally get it. If I run a curry house in Snackley," and I'm like, he was like, "I'm so sorry. But it was just that, like, if it wasn't Llanelli, I would have been pissed off. But I fully get where he's coming from.
Yeah. You were like, "Nah, it's fine, man. It's Llanelli. I get it. It's no stress."
Yeah, but
You should have understood you're not from Llanelli because you had an umbrella. Like,
so we went to Spoons, had a few more drinks. I went back to get the last train, which was at 12:30 or something. My train did not come until 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
I fucking went crazy in Llanelli train station for 2 hours. Like,
you didn't have any beer or nothing?
No, because I was going to get the next train and then the next train and then one more pint, get the next train. And then I was like, yeah, ready for bed. Do you know what I mean? And then 2 hours. I thought it just wouldn't come, but I was like, well, might as well wait. I've got no other options. Come at like 2 in the morning.
I was the day after that. It was my birthday a couple of days after it, and we were booked. Me and my wife were booked to go up to Bakewell, right, which is it should only take about 4 hours to drive there from Llanelli. So the morning after I get up, because we had that horrible weather, right, and it was floods and stuff, and instead of taking 4 hours, it took 7 hours to drive. Me, it was absolutely mayhem, like. But yeah, managed to get there in the end. It was awesome. But what a long drive, man. But worth it. It was cool. It was a good gig, that. I like that. Good. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So you're watching I'm just going to do another shout. Sorry. EMW TV.
Go for it.
It's Winger Records interviewing Mr Phormula. He's Welsh hip-hop artist. And we're talking about things in the past, things now, and things in the future. You know, like carrying on from that, also an educator. Definitely want to talk about that as well. But yeah, carry on, John.
Cool, man.
I know you go for that. You go on. Do a bit of your own hosting.
Yeah. So basically, as an educator, you must be meeting a lot of young kids who have going through that. Well, I don't know what the experience is like for young kids now, but our experience was being rural. You don't get much exposure to feeling like you're part of anything. But now it might be a bit different. But I mean, what do you do? What do you say to these young kids who like are obsessed with the music? Like, how do you keep them going? What do you say when they say, like, you know, we want to make it, or we want to, you know, it's difficult, it's a struggle for everyone. What do you say, or what do you do, like, to encourage them to carry on and not give up? Like,
I think the only answer I can give them, really, which unfortunately is a cliche answer, and it's not the best really, but it's like, just don't give up. There's no other remedy. There is no other solution for it. If you're passionate about it, you got to get out there and do it. So there's no point going, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, but then still be at home, because that's not going to translate. Like, do you know what I mean? I try to point out to them that if you want to be an artist, whatever, you've got to find something that makes you unique, like your USP. Like, you know what I mean? If you haven't got that unique sound, you're going to sound like another million people that are all trying to do the same thing. So I try to point out to them that, look, if you've got if you can do something unique, well, utilize that. Do you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to be different from everyone else. Just because everyone else dresses a certain way or whatever, you don't need to do that. Do you know what I mean? You do whatever you want. Like, as long as you're different and you're passionate, then the sky's the limit. Do you know what I mean? And you've just got to make sure that you don't forget that, because things like gigs are gonna knock you down. When you, like we were talking earlier, you play to empty rooms. That's all part of it. Like, you've got to play to empty rooms. Like, you have to, because that's the training ground. That's how you get better, and that's how you improve. So I just try to emphasize that when I work with young people. I try to say to them, look, it's a long journey. Like, it's not just a couple of weeks and then you're sorted. It's going to take a long time. It's a life choice. Do you know what I mean? Anything you do in life is a life choice. It's you've got to dedicate and put yourself all in. Like, otherwise, you might not make it. Do you know what I mean? And when I say make it, I mean, what I mean by that is to actually reach the point that you want to get to. So you set your goal and you get to your goal. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like, do you know what I mean? I still haven't made it. Like, I mean, what does made it even mean? Do you know what I mean? It's like, as long as I'm doing what I love doing, that's the main thing. That means you've made it, when you're loving what you do. So
I think
made it is when you're on a tune with Squires, Pogriff, Zubat, Mighty Mouse all at the same time. That's when you made it.
When you're on
That's when you made
EMW
it.
TV, man. What are you saying?
That's when you made it, man. Or when
You've only recently
EMW
made
TV,
it.
Boys, I think I made it. I've
You've made it,
I've
boys.
nailed those two things in one.
You've made it. Well done.
Yes.
Right, interview's over.
Yeah, bye.
Gotta go pop some
Interview
bottles.
over. If I had the mic, I'd just drop it and then I'd grab a champagne and go like that.
I think that's like a point though. Is like, I think people can spin themselves out, like, with the psychology of making it. Like, you can just like have an idea of what that is, and maybe the idea is, I need to be rich and my gigs need to be massive, and then that can be quite. I see it with people. It's psychologically damaging, and it only leads to you making less music and having less fun with it and being less successful in a way.
100%.
There's no doubt.
Goals in your mind. So I think that's like a psychologically important thing to do, is like have your goals as like steps, not as a fucking like don't shoot for the stars when you walked up the stairs type shit, you know? Like keep hit that next tune, and then you got your EP, and then just do the best you can with that. Just get your show. Just
you got to be realistic.
Micro the steps, and then you'll go far. But like, I think people can really fuck their head up having like a weird of ambition and whatever.
Yeah, and especially with like the newer generation as well, especially school generation, because they've got social medias like embedded in their lives as well. And when you have that as part of it, like you're not prepared, you're not ready to take negative comments and things. Not at that age. You're not ready for that, man. If you're in school or you're in college and you want to be a rapper, I hate that term rapper, like, but if you want to be a rapper, whatever, and you put something up on YouTube and you get negative comments, you're not ready for that. You're not. I don't care who you are. At that age, you're not ready for it. And you're right, man. Because in your brain, you want to have this massive. You want to be like huge. And you get a negative comment, and then you might have one or two. Then you might 3 or 4, might 5, 6, and then your brain is just instantly. You know what I mean? It's like damaging straight away. So yeah. So it definitely.
I think that's the biggest challenge. Like. More so than everyone has the ability to make music, you know, but I reckon the biggest challenge is almost just keeping yourself psychologically level so you can make it and enjoy it and just fucking crack on, like.
Yeah. There's no doubt, man. Just like remembering the source. That's like one of my things. Is like remember why you fell in love with it in the first place. Like so, whatever point you get to, just always remember. Oh yeah, hang on. I didn't get into it because of this. I got into it because I loved it when I was like 10 years old or whatever. And then, you know, that's the reality check, I think, isn't it? To try and keep.
So you're obviously a really good example of that, you know, like because you've got a long history, you've done a lot of things, and you're still here, happy as fuck, still buzzing off everything you do. Like,
no doubt.
Have any particular mental dips along the way that you could like allude to that, if you did or if you didn't, and if you got out of them, how you kept your and just happy and active with it?
No, man, I've had loads. Like I've had loads of mad issues where, like, in my mentally, I've just gone into myself and thought, "What am I doing? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm too old to be doing this. I'm only like 30, 35. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What am I on about? Like, but things happen along the way, and it can make you doubt yourself. And I did one thing with UK Rap Anthem with Charlie Sloth. And there's like loads of guys on there. And I was like, I was proper buzzing, to be honest. So I jumped on it, did it. And then at that time, I was like checking comments, like people saying, "Oh, yeah, those guys from Wales are shite," or whatever. And then instantly, it makes you doubt yourself. It's like, oh yeah, maybe I'm not ready for like the bigger stage here. Maybe I'm like, maybe I could just stay over here in the mountains and close myself away. Yeah. And loads of things happen like that, man. I've had loads of mad issues like that where I've just doubted myself and can't be bothered a bit more on that. But again, you just got to take a breather, man. Remember what you're doing. Remember why you're here. If I wasn't doing this, I don't know what I'd be doing. So, do you know what I mean? So it's like just realistically put it all into perspective and think, yeah, man, don't be stupid. Get back on it. Like, get back in there. And then something will happen, and it'll be like, oh yeah, that's why I'm in here, son. Better watch yourself.
Yeah. I'm on EMW TV, and yesterday I was doubting myself.
Better watch yourself, son.
That's actually something else that's been buggering me.
Buggering you?
Hard, like I just gonna get no, like okay, so you got a seriously unique selling point in the fact that you are a bilingual artist. You can rap in your mother tongue, Welsh, and in English, and you know that's amazing. And for me, that should be celebrated massively, not just in this country, but in the whole of the UK. They should celebrate other languages other than English. Yet, why is it that the biggest radio station that supports up and coming artists don't play Welsh music on daytime radio? Like, why is it that like there is no other languages than English on like the biggest radio stations that are giving the most money?
That's a good point,
Why?
mate. It's something that's baffled me for years and years, and since I started making music. But the thing is, this is the weird one to sort of go into a polar opposite of that. When I was in school, I've always been fluent Welsh, but in school I was like, I'm not talking Welsh, mate. What do I need to talk Welsh for? Don't need that. So there's a weird stigma attached to the language. When I was younger, it was always like traditional folky music, whatever. And I was like, I'm into like the Wu-Tang. I'm not into like traditional Welsh music. What you want about? So in school, I totally disconnected off it. And it wasn't until I got to college that I met Aaron. And that's where Aaron was like, oh, listen to this. And he showed me him in Welsh. And I was like, whoa, hang on a minute. I've not heard anyone rap like that before. That's sick. You're rapping in Welsh. And then I realized, oh, actually, I can do that. That's mad. That's like, I've got 2 languages here. And then I realized the importance of the identity of having those 2 languages. And yeah, man, and that's where I sort of switched my attitude about being able to use the Welsh language and like being able to realize that it's a uniqueness, man. It's an identity that we have in the whole world. Like we've got our own language here, and it's amazing. So yeah, but to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just the powers that be in it, like Welsh languages like that, and then English languages like that. I guess. But you got stuff like Gaelic as well, man. Yeah. Like you've got like Gaelic artists and stuff that rap. I know a few of them. Yeah. And it's a shame. Like there's a lot of diversity in the UK, but I guess it's
like artists like Duffy, who like started singing in Welsh. They had to start singing English to make it. Though like her Welsh music is mind blowing. And you know, like that is actually affecting people's lives. Like that's affecting their future. Saying like, no, you can't sing in your own language. You got to sing in the language we dictated to you. Yeah. And I don't understand why there's not more of a question mark around that.
Yeah. One cool thing is that I don't know if you're familiar with Gwenno Saunders.
Oh yeah.
She's there you go. Yeah. So she talks Cornish and stuff, doesn't she? And her last album's like mainly Cornish, and it gets played on Radio 6 and stuff. Yeah. And it's amazing to sit in the kitchen and hear Gwenno get played on Radio 6. While I'm having my shreddies. It's like, yes, mate. That's amazing. So I love that, man. There's a lot more diversity on things like Radio 6, and they're not afraid to play different languages. There's like all sorts of stuff on there. So I don't really dwell anywhere else outside of that, to be honest, because I can't be fussed.
I do have a danger of sounding like a bit of a like I've been inside too long and I'm ranting because I don't listen to too much.
It's all good.
I don't feel like we should let this conversation pass without shouting out Adwife, who are from Carmarthen, who only sing in Welsh, who have had I think it was Radio 1 session with Hugh Stevens, who sold out a Rough Trade show in London. So just to put a positive end on that too.
Big up,
there is shining lights, you know.
Yeah, no doubt. And people like, no doubt, Adwife is sick. Like, and what's cool is luckily for us, you got people like Hugh Stevens at the helm. Yeah. Which he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, no man, these guys are good. I'm putting them on, like, do you know what I mean? There's countless times he's helped me out. He's helped me out with something now. I'm not allowed to talk about it, unfortunately. But Hugh Stevens has put me onto a project, and it's amazing, man. It's to do with Universal. It's like pretty cool, and it's all thanks to Hugh. So fair play to him, man. He's not afraid to get Welsh language artists out there.
Hey, chuck me his number then.
Yeah, man.
yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt.
He's a winger, man. Have you not seen the picture of Hugh repping the wingers at the Welsh Music Awards?
Yeah, sick. Yeah, innit, man.
Big winger, Hugh.
Nah, big up Adwife. There's loads of those bands. Like, there's new bands that are breaking through that are from the Welsh language, and they're definitely the new generation representing a fresh sound. It's amazing. It's good to hear. It's about time.
Yeah, man. I was speaking to Holly earlier about something music related, but she said they were doing a live like session in Wrexham today for like some festival or something.
Oh, it's not the Focus
maybe,
one, is it? Oh,
it's not a Focus. I think maybe it was like something Scottish or something as an alternative. Obviously, everything has been cancelled, so maybe it was like an alternative thing to. I don't know.
I think that's another positive. That's another positive actually to take from it. Like, you got people like Hugh Stevens who are constantly there and like, you know, are approachable, but also like you can create your own way. If someone doesn't give you what you want, you go and make it somewhere else, and you go and find people that want to do it, and you do it that way. And you become bigger than that.
Yeah, I think that is one good thing about the world we live in today. Like, there's lots of negative stuff, obviously, but one good thing I think is you're able to make your own path, and you have the ability to do things your own way these days, which I think is cool. Again, it's just having that drive and passion to just go in and do it and enjoy it.
Yeah. And what I'd say as well is, as the world gets more globalized, more connected, I think the world will crave unique culture more, because we're more and more becoming a homogenized culture.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe why bands like Adwife can sell out Rough Trade now, because you've got so much option. You crave the uniqueness. You want to see something different. Although I agree with like holding the powers that be that responsible for representing stuff correctly, that also can be a really fucking negative mind state as well. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
Like, you're doing well because of someone else. It's like a lot of time that's not constructive, like for your own personal fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
Fuck the radio, fuck everyone.
It's an economical thing though as well, isn't it? It's like the balance of economics is like why do you get paid less if you're on a like this radio, which is Welsh language compared to that? So like there's a lot of questions around it, which I think do need to be asked, and I think you know we as musicians, as people who want the next generation to have a platform, I think it's our responsibility to ask that question occasionally as well.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. I try to put pointers like that, little Easter eggs in my lyrics all the time. Little pointers of just hints of little bits like that. I try not to focus too much on it because, as you're saying yourself, I don't want to come across as someone that's like super thingy about it. But I do like to voice my opinions in a nice little subtle way lyrically. It's quite cool. Just hide it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, at the end of the day, though, look, at the end of the day, if you love what you're doing and you're enjoying life, man, then it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's you and your own brain. So if you and your own brain is happy, then you're cool. That's the main thing.
Exactly.
So
that's big up. So yeah, we've been talking for over an hour now. It's EMW TV with Winger Records interviewing Mr Phormula in his extremely nice looking pad.
Yeah, man.
Give us a tour.
Got some synths and that. Got some goods going on. I just got this new bad boy the other day. This is called the Zen Delay, and it's been created by Erica Synths and Ninja Tune.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if you can see this, but it's this bad boy here.
Oh, sick.
And it's valve driven distortion tape delay. And that's going to be my new piece for when I perform with bands as well. I'm going to be using that. It's a sick piece of equipment. This is a studio. I'll give you a little tour. We've got like basically this side of the room is like my gear, and I don't know how much you can see. So I'm holding my phone.
I can see. Wait, let me put you full screen for this then.
Yeah.
Let's just get you.
I'll try and see the screen as I'm doing it. All right. So kicking off here, we got NS10 monitors, original Novation base station, which I bought from John and Kev's through Bellaethog. That's got loads of history from like the 80s with through Bellaethog and that. Got an A station under it from a man, DJ Fuzzy Felt. Got guitar pedals, whole bunch of synths over here. We got like a Volkers. Then we have a 303 clone called the MAM MB33. We got a Geomi Blip, a Turia Micro Brute synth. Got a Mono Tribe. And over here we got external equipment. So we got bit reduction unit, handmade from France, worth a bomb. That's awesome. Got a Rolling Space Echo. We got the Ninja Tune. And then we have little modal synths. Got the Mac out. We got Push 2. Then we got an 01V with an expanded ADAT card just for you geeks out there. And we have a Focusrite ISA preamp. Then we have Neumann. Got a Neumann mic that I use as well. And then this side of the room is just like a bit of storage, bit of my workout stuff. And then that's basically it. But this is the studio, like in its entirety. So I don't know how much you can see of that.
Is this in your house or is this a separate building?
I'll show you, man. This is just outside my house. So I live literally. My house is literally there.
Oh, banging.
Beautiful.
So that's my house. This is the
about the same size as your studio.
yeah. So this is the gas, man. This is where I do most of my work if I'm not in schools. So yeah.
We'll have to get up there at some point.
You know it. You knows it. You get that back on there.
I got an interface and a mic.
Hey, class. What have you got?
I've forgotten what it's called.
It's just a Scarlet in it. Basic Scarlet.
Oh, Focusrite, yeah, the red one.
Yeah, I got one as well. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, man. Focusrite, good. Yeah, that's
I
what
got
that preamp is. I got a Focusrite preamp there, amazing for recording vocals, like proper crisp, clean.
Sick.
Yeah.
I've only had it since lockdown.
How are you getting on with it?
Yeah, fine. It's sick to be able to record in your own house, obviously.
Yeah, man.
Being
Makes
better.
it a lot easier for me.
My take's been better, you know, because I can sit there obsess and not be like in a room full of people and you're only there for a couple of hours. You don't want to fucking sit there for 30 minutes trying to get a take right, do you?
That's it.
Like,
that's it.
So that's been good.
I forgot, like, talking about like doing takes and stuff. If you don't mind, this sort of ties into I'm working on a new album, and that ties into it. If I could talk a little bit about that, is that right?
Go on.
Go.
Yeah, man.
That's what we're here for.
So it was just to say, like, that, like, since getting into lockdown, I decided, I might as well just work on an album. And so we got tunes going. Then obviously you guys are on there. I got Luke V on there. Crazy the Jack's on there.
Nice.
Guys from North Wales. Then we got OD and Runic. They're on there. Martin Dawes and Henry Hall are going to be on there. But the beautiful thing is everyone's able to record themselves at home. It's like everyone's just bought their own interfaces. It's amazing. So I've just been getting vocals through emails. So good. And and it's been really nice being able to do that. So I'm hoping to release it in September, end of September. I got a distribution deal with Peace. I don't know if you heard of those guys, but they're cool.
Yeah,
so do some distro with them. So yeah, hopefully release it in September. So I'm hoping.
Sick. Looking forward to that.
Sweet.
Yeah,
have you got a title? Got any more juicy goss about it?
What else we got on there? Just musically, really. I've just been working on the beats. I haven't really been doing a lot more other than getting the material together. So yeah, but I've got some nice guests on there. Got my own stuff on there. Got the artwork sorted, so that's quite cool. Yeah, man. So that's good. And then in conjunction with that, I'm working on a D&B library music album with Owain from Band Press Reggae. So that should be quite cool. Working on that. And then just mixing and mastering for other people. So yeah, man. Happy days. Business as usual, like, it's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the latest thing you learned on Ableton? Like, you got Ableton there. What's the latest thing you found out about Ableton?
To be honest, like, I've used Ableton for so long that
completed it 10 years ago, mate.
There's nothing new on there for me, if I'm entirely honest with you. I'm obsessed with Ableton. It's all I use now. I master and everything. Like, everything is done in Ableton. Absolutely everything. I love it. I did find, actually, no, I'm lying. I did find something out recently. If you have a sample in there and you find out what the key of the sample is, open up a synth or open up a MIDI VSTI, and if you go into the MIDI effects, right, you can get a plugin in there called Scale, and all you have to do is in that scale, if you pick the key, then Ableton will make sure whatever you play stays in key with the song that you're in, so it's impossible to go out of key.
Oh, so
there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty
tip.
cool. Like,
top tip.
Yeah, that's the top tip. Yeah. Yeah, I've got tons of little tips. Like, I'd want to be a super geek.
That's all good.
Too late.
I know there's
too
people,
late, man. Yeah.
There's people here who definitely lap that stuff up.
Cool. Good.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Big things.
Including me.
Well, is there any artists you're feeling at the moment in general outside of
man, like me
globally?
And my man,
I know.
like, me and my man, Dewi Folks. He's based from North Wales in a band called Dead Wood on Dr. Gonzo. I got like loads of history with those guys as well. I think they're about your age. Amazing band. And me and Dew, like, we've always been big hip hop fans. We speak to each other daily. Really, we're always sending each other links and things. I've been listening to loads of artists recently, but one of the main guys that I heard a couple of days ago, I was totally blown away, is a guy called G-Bag. You heard of him? From London? He's sick. Ill-Informed. Ill-Informed's just released an album. Oh my god.
Yeah, I haven't really listened to him in depth. I know who you mean though.
Yeah, man. This album here, I don't know if you can see it. It's called Respect the Elders. Like, this album. I don't know if you can see it. It's just
I know what you mean.
Man, sick lyricist. What else have we listened to? Iron Wigs, that new project with Sonny Jim and Thingy. Oh, what's his name? Can't remember his name. It's pretty good. The new Nems and Ill Bill album, Gorilla Twins. I don't know if you heard that.
Gorilla Twins. Yeah, I listened to a little bit of it, but
the thing is with Nems, right? He's like one of my favorite lyricists, I love Nems. I've watched him for a long time. But the thing is, because he looks like he's basically looks like a white guy, but he says the N-word flat out.
He says it in every bar, pretty much.
Yeah, and basically, like if you can't get past the fact that he says that all the time, then you can easily go, oh man, I'm not feeling this guy. But if you just get past that and listen to him lyrically, man, I think he's amazing. He's a proper bully. Like,
isn't he like Puerto Rican Irish?
Yeah. one of his bars, right? One of his bars, he goes, I stare death in the eyeball. Walk into your crib and knock your pop through the drywall. Oh, sick bar, that.
That's the Irish bit talking about drywall.
The drywall. Yeah. I love them.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. There's a tune with him and Spit Gems, is it?
Oh yeah. That 20. Yeah, that 20.
They're going back to back. They're on Coney Island.
Yeah.
And that was like, I was a big fan of that back and forth, you know, rapping between them. I thought that was good.
That track is amazing. That track.
Was it 100 something?
Yeah, it's. Oh, wait a minute, man. I'll get it for you now. Gorilla Monsoon.
Can't remember what it's called.
It's on the Monsoon at the minute.
I was listening to Magugu earlier. His new tune.
200. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah. The new one with Stagger, right? Magugu, yeah.
No, not with Stagger. It probably isn't. It's called No Be So. It's got played a few times on radio. Jaffa played it on his mix.
Cool.
It's on Pan-African Music on YouTube.
Okay.
And he's obviously, it's a project where he's got, say, 20 different households, different people to film themselves doing the bars. So the whole video is just different people doing his verse, which is cool.
Nice. That's hard. I heard that for the first time.
I heard it a few times on the radio, and I was saying to Harry earlier, I was like, oh, it's like, you know, chill little rhythm in it, but like how deep his voice is, even though like on the hook he's just going like woo woo woo, it just sounds so. I went from thinking it was a chill song to now like listening to it on proper speakers. It's like a banger, do you know what I mean? It's like one of those, it's a subtle banger. When you listen to the like,
nice.
Yeah, man, he's cool.
I've just posted.
I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about like the Welsh language thing and the unique thing. One of the tracks I've literally just finished, right, is I rapped the Welsh alphabet, like just all the way from A to Y. I'll show you a little bit of it, man. Just
A to Y.
It's basically, so I'll say it first, a little bit of it, yeah. Awdur arbennig ar antur aruthrol, artist anfawr wol agor y lawan, arbenigwyr agwedd anfodol, bardd bendigedig, bardd asbwriadol, bendigeid brand beatbox blaenorol, bendithio brawdegau braslunwyr barddonol. Yeah, so we got to be on there. Yeah, so it basically goes through, and I got the idea from a track that I'm working on at the minute with another guy, but yeah. It's cool, man. And I thought no one's done it in the Welsh language, only in like English language. So I thought,
there's a few like Alphabet Assassin tracks in there. There's like Loki did
Scammer.
one. Scammer did one. Maybe like
Blackalicious done one.
Isn't that like that was a big one, that one, Blackalicious.
Yeah. Dagger, and amazing. I don't even know the words. It's amazing. Class.
Much it. You're a big fan of Griselda as well, and you like us?
Big fan, mate. Yeah. I think Benny's my man though. He's Benny is insane.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
They're all amazing. I did think a little bit that West Side's last album's sort of gone down in quality a bit though. He released an album like, literally last week or something. It sounds like a mixtape, and I wasn't feeling it at all. I'll get it for you now. I can't even remember what it's called.
I know what you mean. It's called. I can't remember what it's called.
I've read it called, but yeah, it wasn't all that, man. Unfortunately, but to be fair, I'm a big Griselda fan.
Yeah, when it was West Side Gun I started hearing first. People started banging on about him. I listened to it and I was like, it's alright. And then I seen him bring Conway on radio, and I was like, oh, okay, Conway's fucking crazy. And I got into Conway. I think it's the geek rapper, innit? Got into Conway. Then Benny the Butcher come. I was like, oh fuck, maybe even a better lyricist again. But then I got into West Side Gun hard after getting into them two, and then I was like, oh shit, West Side Gun actually makes amazing It just takes a second to like step into his
That's it.
movie sort of thing, his world, you know.
That's it. Yeah.
He was my favorite for a while. I was like, oh,
that's it.
Found a house doing dishes. Like, do.
And when you put those three together as a collective, and then you've got Derringer and Alchemist in the mix, it's just
and
like
Beat Butcher as well.
Yeah, and Beat Butcher too. Yeah, that's crazy. Shout outs to
That
Beat
is
Butcher.
crazy.
That's crazy. But
Beat
to think that
right.
those guys are making their own. They've made a movement on their own just from loving what they're doing. That's amazing.
Talking about psychologically staying with it when no one's giving you props.
It's a classic example in point because they're like 35 youngest, isn't it? They're like
man.
35
my
upwards,
age, and my age, man.
They've been like they've obviously been making music for time, like, but they've obviously they've never fucking gone, oh, we need to like make a fucking radio hit. No. And now like they're blowing up at the age of like 35 onwards, and they're on Shady Records and they're on Rock Nation and fucking they're like this, you know.
What's cool is at this point in life they've got like loads of wisdom and knowledge, so they're like primed to just take over. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
No, that's dope. I joked about asking this question earlier on Facebook, but why not? Just what's your favorite Power Ranger?
Power Ranger. Wow. Man, I remember watching it when I was like a kid. I said just blue. I can't even.
Blue.
There's no difference between them, though. They're just different colours, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Blue. Just blue, man. Yeah, blue.
Yeah. Good.
What's your favourite Teletubby?
Teletubby.
It's got to be Poe.
Oh, it's got to be Poe, innit? Of course. Got to be Poe. Yeah.
Sure. I'd like to make the point right here. I know this has been a massive content issue for the whole world.
Go on.
But I predate Teletubby. I just want to put that out there, right?
I'm acknowledging it, mate. I'm acknowledging it.
Who's your favourite culture vulture?
Oh, again.
Hagee, innit?
Solid answer. Big up, Hagee. Cool.
Better than Jam and Kai, mate. No stress.
You love that.
Yeah, he's better producer than both of us.
Yeah. No, shouts to Gaff. He's a worker boy at the moment. He's on a building site, so that's why he's not here.
Fair plays to him. Fair plays.
It's about the grind.
Cool, man. I may have to wrap this up, boys. I just realised.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we've been
that's all good.
Time was absolutely flown. So.
Yeah, man. Over an hour now, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, any final words?
For anyone that's like just listening and wants to make music, don't be fussed about what other people think. Just get in there, get stuck in, and do what you do and love what you do, and the rest will unravel itself. And check out my album soon. And much respect to everyone for tuning in. Yeah, man. Simple.
You're Mr Phormula on Twitter, Mr Phormula on Instagram, Mr Phormula on Facebook.
Everything Mr Phormula.
MrPhormula.com.
YouTube, Mr Phormula. Twitter, Mr Phormula. Just Mr Phormula, man. Yeah. Check out Bards as well. Bards.
Yeah, for sure.
.co.uk. Bards.co.uk. Yeah, man. Just check stuff out, innit?
Wicked. Nice one for the chat. It's been fun.
Hey, thank you so much for getting me on board, guys. Always a pleasure.
Nice one.
Guys,
always a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Likewise.
Been an absolute pleasure, man.
Wicked.
Nice to see you.
Park Maura. Big respect.
Park.
Park.
Blah, 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 blah. Everyone chuck your wings up.
Innit? Alright, how'd you do it, man?
You gotta do it like that. Nah,
can't
bro.
see.
Do it
I've
the
only
other way.
got. I
Change
can
your
only
hands.
see me. I can only
You gotta
see
change
me.
your hands like
Two
that.
west sides.
It's like Blue Peter.
West sides together.
Have you not got the active...
That?
Nah, that's
Almost,
Wu-Tang, isn't it?
Yeah, let's just pretend it's wingers. Winger Wu.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to take a quick screenshot so I can prove this happened. Hey.
Oh, big up Jaffa, big up Bethan, Elvin.
Yeah. Big up everyone that came in.
Big up. Yeah, thank you for watching. Big up, big up. I've got more big ups to do. Kai, big up Neil or Niall. Yeah, big up. Thank you so much for watching.
Big up Niall.
Glenn. Yeah, big up Glenn. Whoop, whoop.
Big up Glenn.
We're gonna be here all day, Mr Phormula Ed. So like, you know, we can jump back in and we'll still be bigging up. Big up. Just when you come back in from
Yeah, dope.
Nah, nice man.
Right, cool. We'll let you get on. Yeah, thanks, man.
Nice
We'll do it again.
Thanks for having me on board. Thanks for having me on board, man.
Always,
Wicked.
man. Always.
Um,
Yeah.
Nice one, guys. Ta.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
My name is left over from a quiz I did, by the way. I didn't just come on today and write hi, just so everyone knows. That was because I was doing a quiz and the quiz master was being a bit of a hitter about it.
That explains the name. But we didn't hail
Again.
Quizler. So we're still live at the moment.
Live in the place.
Live in the place.
Send in requests. Who do you want to see strip?
It's the West Wales hotline.
This
is the part of the show that just falls apart. It has no structure whatsoever.
the official after
This is
show.
at 5 a.m. at the party shit.
Yeah, there will be swearing because Poe's involved. No, seriously, this has been important, and like talking about hip hop music at the moment is also important because of the obvious focus on the Black Lives Matter, and I know that there's a serious group of people at the moment trying to pull things together and make something of this also. That's really important to mention at the moment as well, I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
For real.
remembering where this music is coming from and the people involved. And also EMW TV have been working with Reverb Nation a little bit. I've been getting like over 500 odd or more now. I haven't checked recently, but over 600 people sending music in, so I'm going to be doing some interviews with them. I've got to choose some, so yeah.
Nice.
I might ask you guys to have a listen to a few bits.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of stuff here. But yeah, any last things, any things you wanted to talk about?
Just quick promo, I guess. New Black Trick single out now on Winger Records, 5 Euro Shades. Go get it on the Bandcamp, free download. More Black Tricks material stuff coming soon. EP of his coming on the 31st of July. And some other little winger bits. But yeah, that's it for now. I think I'm going to go make a cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little coffee. Pleasure to see you guys
Cool.
again. Nice one.
Yeah, nice one, man.
Nice one, Harry.
But,
have a good day.
You too.
Come watch.
See you in a
have
bit
good
now.
day.
All right, peace. Big up everyone tuned in. Winger Records, EMW TV. Peace.
Boop, boop.
Much love.
Bye.